My name is Jim. Please subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell. I'm going to show something that can happen. Not that it will. It certainly happened to me. AI doesn't have a clue. I've researched the heck out of this situation. So my bees, uh, they were a swarm that I caught from Nature Organic Bees last May. And so I started noticing a couple of days ago there was a bunch of bees in my garage. Well, now that's where I keep all my old hives, and that's where I work to keep them prepped and ready for come spring, so I can make more nukes. I mean, baited nukes and stuff like that. So I noticed some bees out there in the garage, and I got busy with other things outside. Came back and there's more, and it kept like that, getting like that. Then the windows, I have a windows in the garage, and they started becoming packed with bees because my hive is through the windows, and they were trying to get back to my hive. I'm pretty sure these are all my bees because I took some of the bees that I found in my garage struggling, I put them in front of my hive, and they walked right in, and other bees ignored them. If there were a bee from another hive, my girls would have attacked them. But these are my girls. These are my bees. I'm pretty confident. I've randomly picked up bees and put them in my hive, and they walked right in. Like, oh yeah, I remember this place. But I was looking for a new one. So anyway, so I took this nuke box that was in my garage, and it had a bunch of bees in it. And so I put them in my cherry tree, and here they are. In the cherry tree, I got a lot of bees in the cherry tree. Macho, macho bees. Right? And they don't have a queen. There's no queen. No, no queen. No, no queen. It's like, why are they doing that? Right? When there's not only that, there's no drones that are being laid. Um, there's nothing if they were going to do a split uh, and make some uh, queen cells and have some queens fly out. There's nothing for the queens to mate with. Not a thing. So where would the queens go? I don't know. Hang around for a few months? Who knows, right? So they were flying. Oh, yeah, I see you. So they were flying all in here. I had to take off. I had to pull all my stuff out here, clean up a bunch of cobwebs. There was about 100 girls that were in cobwebs. I had a bunch of stuff stacked here, and they got back down in there. And so I put that cardboard up, open window, took the screen off, and now they just fly right on by, right on through. Or something. So I had a lot of stuff that smelled like bees and honey and propolis and stuff in my garage because that's where I do my thing. That's where I do all my prepping and all that kind of stuff, right? So what I did was I was running around frantic trying to figure out what is going on. So they filled that hive, right? Occupied that one. And then I put another baited nuke, and now they occupy that one. And so today I did this. Stay phone, stay. Won't you stay just a little bit longer, please? So I got all these hives here. These are all baited nukes. And so all these are baited nukes. I just put them out this afternoon. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I have 11 baited nukes. Right? Now, are they going to occupy all those baited nukes? They sure seem intent to do that. So these I just now finished. These are mini styrofoam nukes. These are all full brood boxes here, and they're investigating every single one of them. They're in some sort of frenzy kind of hive split mode, and so I'll show you over here. I put this other one over here yesterday, and you can see what they're doing So I got this one here that I put yesterday. I had to assemble this whole thing here. Right? I threw it together so fast because I didn't know what was going on. So you can see my girls over here. They're doing their thing once again. She must have laid up a storm. Once I got all those varroa mites out of there, I think she really got busy. She really went to town. And so you can see more navigational flights. She must have laid like crazy. Lots of food coming in. Food like crazy. Yeah, there you go. And now I've got this one. Now these girls, there is no queens in these boxes. Oh, okay. There's no queens. They're just occupying it. So here's my hunch. Now I couldn't find anything on AI. I've never seen anything or heard anything like this before happening. This is all new territory. I'm going like, what's happening? I don't know. What's it say? And so this is what I think's going on. So this guy's been feeding nature, and he's putting out something that's, my bees are loving it. I'm thinking it might have some sugar syrup in whatever he's got, some sort of powder stuff, something that they really like. He's trying to feed birds or something, but my bees are loving it, and they're bringing it in by semis. It's just like a semi line, just keeps going. And so I think my instincts are that they filled those two boxes with all the resources. And so these girls are mine. The ones that are flying all around, the ones over in the front. These are my girls because I can put them in front of the hive, catch one randomly in the garage, wherever. Put them in front of the hive when they're kind of like not doing well. So they're hungry and they've been out too long and they don't have no resources. They're just sitting there, and I'll put them right in front of that hive right there. And the girls walk right over them, kiss them. Are you okay? And then they walk right in. That's it. So what's happening here in my in my property is, at this point, I'm convinced it's all coming from my hive. That's just how healthy they are. And they're wanting to do splits right now. They want to middle of January. It's not even the 15th. What is it, 12th? Yeah, today's the 12th. And this started 2-3 days ago when things started to look not natural. I started feeling like I was in a twilight zone. Right? And so, let's see if you can see that. Yeah, so you can see how active this is getting. And it's getting more active as time goes on. Yesterday, after I put it up, wasn't that many girls, just a few flying in and out. And today, there's more than a few flying in and out. Right? They're wanting to guard the entryway now, as if there's a queen in there, and there's not. There is no queen. So here's my hunch. My hunch is that they are so healthy that they decided to get a head start on finding a new home, and they're going to go into doing some splits once they're going to start making queen cells once they get a sense that there's some males that are being laid and all that kind of thing. They're going to get a big time head start and start making new hives, right? So they've already got that hive selected, right? I think I've got about 10 frames in that one, maybe 9. Because I had some comb in there that was really thick. So I think I got 9 frames in that one. This is a 10 frame brood. But some of the frames were like really thick with comb. So I think I got 9 frames in there, and I got about 3 in all this. I got about 3 frames with comb in all those. In each one of those. Even those little styrofoam things, I put some wax, honey wax cone. So I have these little cone, a about, I think it was about 100 of them, 50 of them or something, I don't remember. They're little squares, and so I just cut them and I put them in those little frames that come with the styrofoam nuke boxes. I think they cost me like $6. And so so they got comb in them already. So all the bees need to do is just, they don't have to use the energy to build comb. Just, you know, start right away and start, you know, storing resources. And but here, this one here that I put up, yeah, it had honey already. It had pollen, nectar. It had everything kind of like already in it. So, and same thing with the one that's in my cherry tree I just showed you. That had a lot of resources already in it. And so, and for now, those are the heaviest occupied. But I just put those out. I just now finished putting all those out just minutes ago. And I was not prepared at all to do something like this in the 1st of January. I was thinking, I'll get stuff going around March 1st, you know, get things ready for, you know, right? I'm 2 months behind. Right? I should have started the 1st of January. Now, in hindsight, now that I've done this, because this is only my second winter having bees. Now, in hindsight, I'm going to have everything ready in December. Like, I gotta have this ready and that ready, and I can do it more gradual. I was running around frantic all day yesterday and today. I still have lots to do over here for their entryways and to get things plugged and sealed. And, you know, I had to move a lot of cobwebs. I moved a big, huge funnel spider. It was almost as big as my hand. Going, oh, but it was much more afraid of me than I was of it. Actually, I felt bad about killing it. I don't like killing animals. Even bugs. But you know, if they're in my space, this is my space, and you're in my space, it's me or you. Kind of like that, you know. I don't want to have funnel spiders in my bed either. So, you know, no raccoons. Those are my pets. Possums. I got a possum one time. I thought, you know what? I'm gonna try to make a pet out of this one. So I had it in a crab cage overnight, and I had it covered and keeping it warm and food and water. I came out the next day, it had torn out the exterior cover of that on it, just dismantled it, shredded it. It was so desperate to get out, so I took it to a park and let it go. Saying, oh, I guess you don't want to be captured. You want to. So anyway, I let that possum go. Same thing with another possum. I also let a raccoon go. I caught it in a squirrel cage. Yeah, I've caught hundreds and hundreds of squirrels. I got to keep it down here because they won't let me grow a garden. They dig it all up. So I got to keep the population down of squirrels. Yeah. Take them to the park. Isn't that crazy? So that Q-tip you see there, that has lemongrass oil on it, and it's a good attractant. But I gotta say, I don't think these bees need any attraction. They're like, they're everywhere. They're looking for anything that's a box. I could probably put out a. They're even going in that one. One just flew into that one right there. Yeah, that's got 2 frames in there. I built that one out of that nuke right there. I built that out of a bottom panel. I had a trailer that had 3/4 inch plywood on it. That was the platform. And I had a glass, one of those gallon jug, wine glass jugs, you know. It had gotten broken, and I didn't notice it. And it was leaning at an angle, and the bottom of one of those big gallon wine jugs can act like a magnifying glass when the sun hits it just right. So that sun came around and it hit that bottom of that wine glass, and there happened to be some wood on the other side. And it caught that wood on fire, and it spread to my trailer and caught my big wooden platform on fire, melted my tire. Didn't burn my house. It was right up against my house. Didn't do nothing to my house. Caught it just in time for my house burned down. I'm glad I was here. Right? Fire truck came and did a full inspection of my house and garage and outside. Yeah. a broken wine bottle. Wow. So I cleaned up every bottle I can find. Was there anything else? Any other bottles laying around here? I used to make wine, and so I would get every wine jug I can find and every wine bottle, anything I can put wine in that was glass. And so I had a lot of wine, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of wine bottles that were full from all the wine that I made. I made all kinds. I even tried banana. Don't try banana. I'm a curious person like that. See, I'm gonna take some of these old socks here. What about those shoes? I'll make some soul wine. Oh shoot. Oh, I made so many different kinds of wine. Oh, grapes, different kinds of grapes. Strawberry, blueberry, lots of blueberry. I probably made 50, 60 gallons. No, I don't know if that much. Maybe 50 gallons of blueberry. Some guy free. I used to do service calls. Had a business, major appliance technician. And out in the country, there was a bunch of blueberry orchards. And this guy's freezer had a problem. I inspected it. I says, man, this is old freezer. It's going to cost you more than what it's worth to buy a new one to get it done. It's a major job. You need your engine replaced. It's called a compressor. He goes, oh, damn. And it was jam-packed with blueberries all the way. Big freezer bags, heavy-duty freezer bags. It was packed full to the tilt. You couldn't get another bag in it. And they were already like starting to thaw. And he goes, yeah, I guess I'm going to have to throw them away. I went, huh? Say, what? I says, can I have them? He goes, yeah, take what you want. I took all of them. And it was one of those big freezers. Well, I took them home that night. I was making blueberry wine. They all went in into the big 50-gallon drum, and I made lots of blueberry wine. Yeah. There you go. And blueberries, the thing about blueberries is it's actually, you get more antioxidants from them if you freeze them first. Because the antioxidant has a membrane around it, and by freezing them, it swells that membrane cracks, and it releases the antioxidants. I think it was like 92% more antioxidants from blueberries if you freeze them first. Who knew that, right? Science is growing in leaps and bounds. And so what I'm gonna probably do is run a whole assembly line, like over there. You see how I got that running over there with the bricks with some wood. I think I'm gonna do that with here, so I can have like 3 hives here. I'm starting to think I might have way more hives than it's legal pretty soon. I was gonna do a bunch of splits. My thought was I'll make like about a dozen queen cells. I was gonna use that Chinese scooper, remove the larvae, the eggs, when they're about 3 days old. I have these little plastic queen cells that I was gonna put those in there, along with some royal jelly, and put them in a box with just nursing bees, and have them make about a dozen queen cells, transfer them to a bunch of nukes, maybe a dozen, just because I'm only going to get, on average, you're only going to get about 50 returns, right? The queens get out there, they don't find something to mate with, they get hit by a windshield, some predator eats them. So it's always best to make many more queen cells than what you think you'll need. So say, for example, you want to go in the fall with 6 hives. Do at least a dozen or more, if not more, and see which ones come back, and then go from there. Yeah. So this swarm I caught, they're doing much healthier than I thought. So when I took it apart about a month ago, maybe a month and a half now, somewhere in there, there was a nice good cluster. They were all like spooning, right, towards the center top. So between the top super and the brood box, they're kind of in between because they're eating the honey that was in the super that they stored, and they're just kind of moving along. They'd eat all this section of honey, and they just kept moving to the next side of the pantry, right? And there was a lot of room in there at that time. They had lots of room. Probably looked like they had maybe 7 frames left that they can occupy. So I wasn't thinking at 1st of January to do anything. I'm thinking that, she's probably not laying eggs. She's probably just they're just hunkering down, waiting for the spring stuff to come out, the flowering. Nope. Here it is, 12th of January, and they want to do splits right now. They want to expand the apiary right now. They ain't waiting. So it's possible that they've already got queen cells in there. And it's even possible that the queens have already flown out. It's possible. Things are happening every day. So, oh, there goes another one in that little. So I built that. I was talking about that fire, so I get distracted so fast. 1,000 things going on, right? So, anyway, it caught that wood on fire on the trailer. Sometimes I get back to my original stories, and I took that and I burnt the heck out of that wood. Not all of it though, just a certain section. And so I took all that. I took that 3/4 inch plywood. It was 4x8, and I made 3. Let me see, 1, 2. I think I made 3 nukes. I think I got another one somewhere. I'll have to go find that one, set that one up too. I thought I made 3. Pretty sure I made 3. And so I'll probably put it up there in the peach tree. I got that all set ready to put another. That's where I caught my swarm. So right there in that peach tree, right there on that platform, that's that hive right there. Same queen. She just got moved. She goes, oh my gosh, this must be a 9.9 earthquake. Things are moving. Right? And so this is just a crazy day. I mean, if you know something, you heard something like, do bees split themselves before even mid-January? This is 8B, Eugene, Oregon. Now, typically it is pretty cold. This is when we get most of our snow right here in January. It's the coldest month of the year. My heaters run almost constant. Just one of those unusual months so far. We could still get a nice heavy storm with lots of snow. These girls be going in these little, because there ain't many in there to stay warm, so at night they're like getting really close and spooning really close, right, in these little clusters, helping keep each other warm. Because it's getting down into the mid-30s, mid to upper 30s, which ain't too bad, I guess. It's just crazy how much food is coming in. Now the thing is though, is that with this hive here that now is occupied, I have not seen any resources coming in. Nothing. Over there, semi-trucks. In the front, I kind of watched for a little bit to see if there's any resources coming in. One in the cherry tree with all those bees up there. Nothing. They're not bringing anything in. So it could be that they are going in there and they're cleaning up the old comb, getting rid of the mildew and all that kind of stuff, and prepping the cells, getting it ready for when my main hive starts to make queen cells. Because my main hive can make, 6, 7 queen cells, and they might prevent the first hatchling. They might prevent the first hatchling from killing the other ones. Because what will happen usually is when the first hatchling of the queen, when the first queen hatches out, she'll go around and kill all the other ones. And the other ones are in there, and they know it. They sense her pheromones, and they start screaming, "No, don't kill me! Don't kill me!" They make these little clicks. But they're giving themselves away, and she finds them, and she goes in there, and she takes them out. But in this situation, where there's so many available hives that have been prepped already, it could be that the bees themselves will prevent any of those new hatched queens from engaging in that behavior. You may think the queen rules the roost. No, she doesn't. It's a democracy. The queen is just the queen. If she misbehaves, off with her head. Literally. They take her head off, or they'll ball her and make her body so hot they'll get her so hot they'll cook her, or they'll just literally bite her to death. Just whatever works at the moment. Whoever's in charge of it. Let's just bite her head off. Okay, everybody. Or let's just heat her up until she dies. Okay, let's heat her up. Who's in charge? I don't know. Whoever's in charge is just going to make that decision. There's that alpha B. There's alpha Bs, just like there's alpha people. Yep. Certain ones make the decisions of what's going to happen next. Yep. I mean, think about when we made humans made the pyramids. That was like a bunch of bees at work. Those were awful big beehives, weren't they? A whole lot of bees. All for one man to be buried in it. That was just crazy stuff. All for that afterlife. I'm going to live forever. Okay. Good luck with that, Mr. Bone Man. Okay, well, I'm going to have to get busy now. Finishing all those over there. When I was assembling all that, I could hardly keep the bees out of my face. Like, you ain't moving fast enough. I said, I am doing my best. I want those ready now. No, I'm getting there. Yeah, when I was over there doing that, I had to take one box away from back here and take it far away to finish working on it, because they wouldn't leave my face alone over here when I was putting all these hives together, these baited nukes. They were in my face. What? I'm going. Dang, man. So it's possible I won't have to do any splits at all. They'll do all the work for me. I think all because of that guy that's feeding my bees. He's feeding nature, and my bees love it, whatever it is. Because if he's like making something that has some sugar in it, maybe some sugar syrup, because that's their, fructose and sucrose. That's what's in flower. The nectar that they go after. That's what it is. Sucrose and fructose. That's their energy source, right? And so if he's over there taking that sucrose and fructose, and he's mixing that with some sort of powder protein, well, that's what they need. So maybe some soy. Maybe he's making some soy mixture with some sugar syrup and mixing it up. That's what they need. Soy is a nice level of. Soy is nice protein for bees. Yeah, they'll eat that up. I bet that's what he's using. Soy and sugar syrup, mixing it and then leaving it for birds. Birds will eat that. Hummingbirds. He's probably feeding the hummingbirds. These bees will eat the same thing a hummingbird will eat. And other wild animals that'll eat that kind of a mixture. And my bees are over there in it to win it. He's probably going out there going, I didn't used to have to put this much out here. Now it's gone so fast. Look at all those bees. I didn't used to see all that many bees taking that stuff. I didn't make this for the bees. Oh, shoot. Crazy, man. All right. I just thought I'd share this crazy day, 2 days now, of what is going on around here. Isn't that just crazy stuff? Right? All those beehives. I got to go over there and put some lemongrass oil in them. But the bees are all buzzing around them, looking for cracks and crevices they don't like. They're going underneath. They're going through the tops. They're checking every angle. Yeah. They're inspecting all those on and off. I sure gave them a lot to choose from, didn't I? Mm-hmm. I said, girls, you just take your pick. I got hives of every size. I'm so accommodating. Piece of crap, thumbs up, ring the bell, leave a comment, click that like, and you have a good day. And if something else surprising happens around here, I'll give you a heads up. Bye now.